YouTube video, I'm gonna be busting 50 makeup myths. Squeezing your foundation into a cup of water separates the oil out of it, making it fuller coverage. If you're the only one using your makeup collection, you don't need to wash your brushes. Freezing your beauty blender can make your foundation application much better. Using translucent powder in between mascara coats will make your lashes look much longer. James Charles is launching his very own makeup brand that is coming out in a couple of months. Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You guys, for today, you saw the intro, you see the title down below. These are different tips, different techniques, different rumors, different trends in the makeup world that have come and gone, and I'm gonna tell you guys whether or not they actually work or not. Let's just jump right into it. Makeup myth number 1 is that moisturizer and primer are the same thing. This is completely untrue. Moisturizer's job is to keep your skin hydrated, where primer's job is to keep your skin tacky so makeup goes on smoothly over top of it. You don't need a primer, but you do always need a moisturizer. Brow products can be used for fake freckles. This is 100% true, and I love doing this technique. There's a few fake freckle products on the market, but if you're not able to get your hands on one of those, your good old-fashioned brow pencil or brow marker can be a great alternative. I'm using the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This is in the shade Ginger Snap. You want a slightly reddish color, and if you just do little dots all around your face and make sure you're blending them out using your finger so they don't look too harsh, just like that, the perfect faux freckle. Voila! The next makeup myth says that squeezing your foundation into a cup of water separates the oil out of it, making it fuller coverage. This looks disgusting, but this has been a really talked about trend on TikTok recently, so I thought I would try it out for you guys and let you know if it actually works or not. Okay, scooped out the foundation on my brush. It's very watery and wet. I guess this is like supposed to separate the oil out of the foundation and make it fuller coverage, but like, damn, that's pretty full coverage if you ask me. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I guess this makeup myth is true. The next makeup myth is that makeup never expires, and this is completely untrue. You guys, you better be checking your products. On the back or bottom of every single product, they all have this little icon that looks like an open container with a number inside. The James Charles X Morphe palette, for example, says 12 months inside of it, which means this has a shelf life of 1 year. Now, I've had my personal palette for over 3 years now, and it's still perfectly fine. Powders are usually a little bit more safer than creams or liquids. Make sure you're always looking at those shelf life icons so you know how long your products will last for. The next makeup myth is that you don't need an eyeshadow primer or base before putting on eyeshadow. Okay, technically this is true. You do not need an eyeshadow base. However, I would always recommend it because having that tacky base underneath an eyeshadow is gonna make the colors be a lot more vibrant and blend out better. This makeup myth says a dark smoky eye makes you look slutty. I mean, yeah, baby, absolutely, in the best way possible. In all seriousness, no. The way that you do your makeup is your business and your business only, and you should do what makes you feel happy and confident. We should not be judging people on how they choose to express themselves.
You're a pig. Okay, you're a slut. No one is.
Cutting up eyelashes make them look more natural. Okay, this is kind of personal opinion. Obviously, when you glue an eyelash onto your eye, it's never really gonna look natural, if we're being honest. However, when you have a strip lash, it's gonna look the same on everybody, but everybody has different shaped eyes. So if you cut it up, you're able to customize it to match you a little bit more, which can look a little bit more natural. The next makeup myth is that lip plumpers work. Unfortunately, you guys, they do not. It is pretty much a placebo effect, similar to when you eat spicy foods. It makes your lips tingle, and it does make them swell up a little bit for like 1 to 2 minutes, but eventually that swelling will go down and your lips will be back to normal size. The only way to make your lips actually bigger is to get, Juvederm, which I have plenty of, but I'm not recommending that for everybody. You should always exfoliate your lips before putting on lipstick for a smoother look. This is kind of true. If you have a lot of makeup on your lips already, or you have some dry skin, a lip exfoliator can be a great way to get it off so you have a smooth lipstick application, but a makeup wipe will do the same thing, just like any sort of body scrub or hair scrub. You really should only be exfoliating a couple of times a week to make sure that you're not damaging that skin. The next makeup myth is that using a piece of tape can help you get the perfect winged liner or sharp eyeshadow look, and this is absolutely correct. In fact, this is one of like the cheesier makeup little hacks that I actually really enjoy. All you have to do is put a little piece of tape on the corner of your eye, lining it up right against your lower lash line, and then you just do your eyeshadow and your wing liner like normal, and then as soon as you take the tape off at the end, it'll be a very sharp and cut line. The next makeup myth is that a brand is only worth buying if it's sold in Ulta or Sephora, and this is an absolute lie. Liza Minnelli could not be further from the truth. In fact, I personally find that a lot of times the absolute best brands are the indie brands that have not yet even made it to one of the wholesale stores because they're the ones that are putting their heart and soul into every single product. So of course you can still shop at Ulta and Sephora, but I would definitely recommend checking out the smaller brands. Sometimes you'll find some hidden gems. Changing your concealer and contour and angling everything upwards can make your face look more lifted. This one definitely is true. It's obviously a temporary solution. It's not going to give you an actual facelift, but the whole point of contouring is to create illusions. So when you lift everything up a little bit, it is going to naturally make your face look more snatched. This next makeup myth is that if you're the only one using your makeup collection, you don't need to wash your brushes. And this is scary that this is a myth, but this is wildly, painfully untrue. You guys, please make sure you're washing your makeup brushes. Even I, as a professional makeup artist, this is my job. I do not wash them nearly as much as I should. As you can see, they can get really dirty. They can grow bacteria or mold.
This is nasty.
The next makeup myth is that using white eyeliner in your waterline can make your eyes appear bigger, and this is definitely true. This is super simple. It basically just creates an illusion that the whites of your eyeballs are just bigger. I love doing this in regular makeup looks because it draws attention to the eyes, but I really love doing this in crazy transformations like drag looks, or even my brat doll transformation where I made my eyes look like they took up literally half my head. Matching your lipstick to your nipple is the perfect go-to nude shade. This one is crazy. This was a big trend a couple of years ago. I've actually tried this out on my YouTube channel when I was first getting started. Technically, it definitely does work. However, there's a lot of good nudes that'll look good on everybody, so try it out and see what works best for you. It is possible to be allergic to makeup. Now, I mean, technically, yes, people have allergies to all sorts of different things, but when it comes to makeup, it's usually gonna be one specific ingredient in a formula. So before you try anything out, make sure you're reading the ingredients on the back if you know you're allergic to something, or I would always recommend doing a little swatch on the arm before you're putting it on your face, just to be sure. The next makeup myth is that using just a makeup wipe when you're taking your makeup off will remove everything. This is so untrue, and you guys, this might be a shock to some of you guys because I was this person too. I only used makeup wipes for the first 4 years of my makeup career. Now I also use a facial cleanser and a washcloth after the fact to get everything off, and I cannot believe after scrubbing my face for 20 minutes with 4 or 5 makeup wipes how much foundation and makeup still comes off onto the washcloth later on. It is so important that you do a good job of taking care of your skin and really cleaning it after wearing a full face of makeup all day long, because you don't want the excess sitting on your skin after the fact. Mixing red, yellow, and blue together can give you the perfect foundation shade. In theory, yes, this is actually true because every single color on planet Earth is created with some mixture of red, yellow, blue, white, and black. So you can get a foundation color, but we've tried this out before and we know that it is very, very hard to get a perfect match. So I would just say use a foundation instead. The next makeup myth says that when you're concealing your under eyes, you have to draw that big triangle shape. This is definitely not true, and at this point, I am getting so sick and tired of seeing different videos on my TikTok For You page and my Instagram Reels of people saying,
This is how you have to correctly place your concealer.
it is really not that deep, and it's totally up to personal preference. Yes, of course, when the beauty community first started, every single person was drawing on massive triangles just like this underneath their eyes, and this is definitely not necessary. You do not need this much product. A lot of people now are putting it just kind of in the corner right here and then at the outer corner to lift it all up. It's really just up to you. If you want full coverage, you can go for the big triangle. If you don't, it's not that deep. Makeup clogs your pores and causes acne. Now, I am not a dermatologist and everybody obviously has different skin types, so I'm not giving any professional advice here, but I would say for the most part, wearing makeup on a daily basis is not going to damage your skin. However, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the removal process, it is very, very important to make sure that you're doing a good job of taking it off with several different steps to make sure that your skin is nice and clean and has time to breathe and is being taken care of with a good skincare routine. If you have a bad blemish that you want to cover up, you should do concealer before and after foundation. Yes, this is true, and it's a really great way to maximize coverage and make sure that that pimple is fully hidden, but you're gonna wanna do it in light layers. Heating up your foundation can actually make it more full coverage. This was a big trend over on TikTok for a couple of months, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say this is very much a gimmick. It can make it go on a little bit smoother just because naturally any sort of warm product is going to react better with your skin, but putting your foundation in the microwave can actually make it change color due to oxidization, so I would not recommend this. The fewer ingredients, the better a makeup product is for you. This is a pretty big misconception, and the answer to this is no. At the end of the day, makeup is chemistry. It's powders, liquids, creams, and colors all being mixed together to create a chemical reaction that form a final product. And just because you start taking ingredients out does not necessarily mean that you're making a better product. Yes, some ingredients technically are better for you than others, and there's a pretty big industry-wide shift right now towards clean makeup products, but at the end of the day, you as a consumer have to decide if that's something that you want to take part of or not. The next makeup myth says that when you're trying a new foundation, you should swatch it on your neck, not your hand, to see if it's a good match. This is kind of up to personal preference because everyone's skin tone is kind of different. My face is a bit more red than the rest of my body is kind of yellow. My hands are very tan. So it kind of just depends, but I like to say that this is true, mostly because you don't want this area and this area to not match. We're officially halfway through the video, and the next makeup myth is that you haven't thumbs up this video yet. Is that true? Oh my God. Girl, you better go ahead and debunk it right now. I'll give you 5 seconds. Thanks. This next makeup myth says that if you run out of your eyebrow gel, you can use chapstick as a substitute. I've never actually tried this one out before, so I thought I would test it out for you guys right here. Now, you've seen me do a ton of different drag videos where I've used glue sticks, but chapstick, I'm not quite sure about. Okay, it's actually not too bad. It is sticking the brow hairs down, but it's not exactly keeping them in place. I don't know if I'd recommend this for a brow gel. Honestly, I would say a glue stick works a bit better. This next makeup myth is a pretty controversial one, and it says that you should always do your eyeshadow before your foundation. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's very much personal preference. You guys have always seen me do my foundation first. That's just because that's how I learned how to do makeup, but a lot of artists choose to do eyeshadow first to make sure that they don't get any fallout onto their base. You should pick either a strong eye or a bold lip, but not both. This is so completely incorrect. It is not even funny. I have literally made an entire career out of proving this wrong. This is such an old way of thinking. Of course, you can do a full bold look or a simple look. Wear whatever you want. Freezing your beauty blender can make your foundation application much better. This one is definitely not true. It actually makes it go on a lot worse. Stop freezing and heating up different things. Just keep everything in the normal temperature it's supposed to be. This one's kind of a weird one. I've seen this a billion different times on TikTok and YouTube, but I've never actually tried it out myself. And that is that using translucent powder in between mascara coats will make your lashes look much, much longer. Let's try it out. I have mascara on both eyes, but I'm gonna grab my translucent powder and a fluffy brush, and I'm only gonna apply it to one of them so we can test out and see if there is a big difference. Ooh. Now we'll go in with our second coat. So both eyes have 2 coats of mascara, but this eye had translucent powder in between. You guys can let me know in the comments down below what you think, but I think that the powder actually made a difference. I think it looks pretty good. You can use red lipstick under your eyes as a color corrector. You can use lipstick as a color corrector, but for red, it's really only gonna work on medium to deep skin tones. If you have my skin color, using an orangey peach color will look much better to offset the blue tones. Lipstick can be used as blush. This one definitely is true. In fact, we've actually done a whole entire YouTube video with a full face using only lipsticks, and it looked pretty good in the end. Spoiler alert. Pumping your mascara wand is a great way to get rid of clumps and get more product on the wand. No! No, 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 no! Not true. Not true at all. Yes, doing that can get more product up in there, but when you're pumping your wand like this, all you're doing is trapping more air inside of the component, which at the end of the day is going to eventually dry out the mascara inside much, much quicker, which is just gonna make it crusty and gross. Do not do that. Overlining your lips makes them look bigger. Yep, this is 100% true. I've been doing this every single time that I've gotten glam since the beginning of my makeup career, but you do have to be careful so it doesn't look crazy. Let me show you how. The biggest mistake that people make is that they overline their entire lip, and sometimes that looks really, really wild. What you want to do is overline the top center and the bottom center, but then connect everything back at the regular corners. Same thing on the lower lip. Okay. I may have went a little too crazy, but this is a good demonstration so you guys can see how you can achieve this sort of effect. Luxury makeup is better than drugstore makeup. The fact that this is even a myth makes me sad because we've proved this wrong so many times here on this very YouTube channel. The quality of makeup does not always correlate directly with the price. We've tried so many luxury makeup brands that absolutely suck, and we've tried so many super cheap drugstore brands that are absolutely amazing, and vice versa. So make sure you try out different products that work for you within your price range. Does applying more makeup mean more coverage? This one really depends on the product. For the most part, yes. A lot of times products are super buildable, such as a foundation or eyeshadow. The more you put on, the more vibrant or coverage it's going to give you. Some foundations are marketed to be buildable, where you can apply a couple of different layers to change the coverage. But if you want that full coverage glam, you really should just use a full coverage foundation. If you use a light coverage foundation and you keep adding layers and layers and layers, chances are it's never going to get to that same type of opacity, and you're just going to start to look really oily and greasy, which I would not recommend. It's okay to sleep with your makeup on. Absolutely not. Oh my God. And you know what's even worse? I've seen an influx of people making videos and making TikToks, literally challenging themselves to see if they can go a full night's rest without messing up their face and makeup for the next morning. No, you guys, no, no, no. Even if you're drunk, even if you're tired, your skin is gonna thank you the next morning. Your eyebrows should always be darker than your hair color. This is up to personal preference, but for me, I would say this is false. I actually like my eyebrows to be 1 or 2 shades lighter than my hair color. I think it looks a lot more natural and helps to avoid that block brow look that y'all know I rocked for way too long.
No.
Adding more blush is a great way to look cuter. Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree. I used to not wear blush, you guys know this, but recently I have been so into just that baby doll blushy look. I think it looks very, very pretty, very, very cute, but you wanna be too careful that you don't add too much or you'll look a little sunburned and crispy, which Could be the look you're going for, who knows? This is a big one. If you have oily skin, you do not need to use moisturizer. This is not true! This is 100% not true. Everyone has oil in their skin, but some people do produce more than others, but that oil is not the same thing as hydration that your skin desperately needs. We all need water and moisture in our skin, so even if you have oily skin, you should absolutely still be moisturizing. If you're wearing a full face of makeup, you don't need to apply sunscreen. So beyond not true, you guys, this one kills me inside. I'm not gonna go too hard on this one, like the moisturizer one, because I am not the best at always putting on sunscreen. I do have my days where I forget. I know a lot of other people do, but even if your foundation has SPF in it, even if it has SPF, you should still be applying sunscreen. The sun rays can absolutely still penetrate through those cakey layers of foundation and concealer and powder. You wanna make sure your skin is protected and healthy at all times. Put on your sunscreen, baby. Put it on! Using airbrush makeup is the best way to get a flawless face. I'm gonna say yes, but with a star at the end of it, because airbrush makeup is so hard. I've done a YouTube video trying it out before, and if you're extremely talented, you can get an amazing flawless result with it, but it is really hard to get there, and if you mess up, ooh, it looks bad. So do with that information what you will. Different colors are used to color correct different things. Yes, this is 100% true. Green counteracts red, so it's great for any pimples or redness. Purple is great for brightening if you have any dull areas of your skin. And then finally, peach or orange is great for correcting any blue tones, such as under eye darkness or facial hair like a beard. People with dry skin can't use setting powder. This one is definitely not true. When it comes to using liquid and cream products, I always like to set it down with a little bit of powder to make sure that it's not gonna go anywhere. But if you have drier skin, you can use a little bit less powder. That way you make sure that the powder isn't clinging onto any dry patches or weird areas. Your concealer shade has to be lighter than your foundation and your skin tone. This one is false, but it depends on what you're using your concealer for. If you want to create that bright under eye look and you want to add some dimension to your face, of course, yes, you do need to use a lighter concealer, but when it comes to actually concealing things like any blemishes or acne, you are going to want to use a concealer shade that is the exact same color as your skin, just like that. Makeup is not for men. This one always makes me giggle because this is the dumbest thing. Anybody can use makeup. It is the same formulas no matter what. It's gonna work on anybody, whether you are a man, a woman, or identify somewhere in between. You can pick a lighter or darker foundation shade if you want to look fairer or tanner. Yes, technically this is true, but unless the foundation matches the rest of your body, it's gonna look crazy. So make sure you're always picking a foundation shade that is the perfect match to your neck, your hands, your face, whatever you wanna be. Just pick your color. But it is a good thing to note, a lot of people do change colors in the summer or winter, or if you get a tan, so make sure you're taking that into consideration when foundation shopping. This one's a little bit of a scary one, and it's that you should not use any makeup products that are not FDA approved. I am going to choose my words very carefully here, and I'm not giving any professional or legal advice. The FDA is pretty strict in its regulations, and first of all, we love them for keeping us safe, but when it comes to makeup, they are, in my personal opinion, a little bit behind the times. The reason why a lot of products do not get FDA approved is typically because there are certain pigments that are used that cause staining. So, for example, my Morphe X James Charles eyeshadow palette that I have been using every day for the last 4 years, technically not FDA approved because some of the colors can cause staining on the eyeballs, which you guys have seen in my videos. I have definitely been stained from this palette beforehand, but for me as a consumer, staining does not bother me, nor does it irritate me or my skin. Some people disagree, and that is totally fine, and that's why it's up to you as a consumer to decide whether or not you want to purchase those products. The next myth is that makeup is a relatively new concept, and this could not be further from the truth. While sure, yes, the social media beauty community has only been around for a couple of years, makeup itself has been historically documented since the first dynasty of Egypt in 3100 BC, 5,000 years ago. And even more interestingly, men and women were wearing makeup back then. We love the gender inclusivity. And last but finally not least, makeup myth number 50. This is one that I have gotten so many comments, tweets, DMs, emails, every form of communication you could possibly imagine. James Charles is launching his very own makeup brand that is coming out in a couple of months. It's true. Did you like that? And on that note, you guys, those are 50 different makeup myths fully debunked. I really had a lot of fun filming this, you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well and learned a little bit about your makeup routine along the way. If you did like it, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below. Your love and support really helps me and the channel out quite a lot. It will mean the world to me. And also make sure you click the subscribe button so you can join the family, as well as the bell icon next to it so you guys never miss an upload from me. I post main channel videos every single Friday, and I've been uploading YouTube shorts every single Tuesday, a full entire video condensed into 1 minute long. Very fun. Make sure you guys check them out. If you want to follow me on any other social platforms, my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok are all just James Charles. And on that note, I will see you guys next time. time. Love you and goodbye.